Today's Sunday, it's the 23rd of February, it's 2025, and we're preparing our Christmas lunch. I know it sounds a bit strange to be making a Christmas lunch in February, but it's a sort of a tradition that we've set up with our Spanish friends. You know, over Christmas time we've got all the family around and lots of things going on, and so we sort of left it till February in order to do this. And we found it a bit difficult to get a turkey this year. Normally we haven't had a problem, but we've got one. I don't know, do you call this a turkey crown? Basically it's the breast. And we managed to get this from the market, the Olivar market in Palma. And what we're going to do, first of all, just going to give it a wash to have the neck chopped off. It was just under 4 kilos. And so it should take 2.5 hours or so to cook. We're in no hurry. Our guests are arriving sometime about 3 o'clock this afternoon. So it was very well cleaned actually in the market. The lady there
cleaned it very, very well.
She very thoroughly cleaned it for us, trimmed off all the bits that she knew we didn't want, and there it is, all ready.
And I had a busy day yesterday preparing all the vegetables.
Okay, so I'm just going to transfer the turkey to a tray, and we usually use a much bigger one, but I think this one will be big enough. We usually have a bigger turkey than this when we've got all the family we're cooking for. There's going to be about 6 of us for lunch today. And normally I put this inside the carcass, but I haven't really got much room, so I'm just going to put it on there. It's upside down, so like the juices to go back down into the breasts. And I just had a little pause because normally I would cover the carcass here with bacon, but there's anything there. So I'm just going to drape the bacon over the top. Just really so there's some fat going into the turkey itself. Help keep the moisture in a little bit.
And I can't believe this, I've just been getting dressed downstairs, and in our garden there was a little bird in the lemon tree, and it was a robin. I did try to catch it on a video, but it flew away. But how nice to have a robin for our Christmas Day.
So I've got the bacon there, I've just put the neck in there. I'm just going to put a drop of water in, not really very much, just so there's a little bit of humidity in there. And now I'm going to put some foil over the top. I've had to fold 2 pieces of foil together just to make sure I've got enough. I think 1 piece would quite do it. And give that a bit of a seal all the way around. The oven's been on for quite a while now, it's just about 180, 190 degrees. And we'll put that in there and leave it for an hour or so, and then I'll have a look, see how it's going on. Plenty of room in the oven with a smaller tray, so I'll just put that in. And we'll see how it goes. Right, we're going to make some stuffing as well, and Anita managed to find some sausage meat. We do have an English butcher's here, and I think that's obviously where it's come from. Going to do an onion. We've got some olive oil. I'm going to cook the onion first, and then we've got some mixed herbs and some breadcrumbs somewhere to put in. The first thing I'm just going to do is just to fry up an onion and just to caramelise it a little bit so that it's ready to go in, and mix it with the sausage meat and the herbs and the breadcrumbs. Okay, so just finished chopping this onion and then we'll fry it. These lunches that we're doing now with our Spanish friends, and it's something we've been doing for more than 30 years now, so the become something of a tradition, and we go to their houses and they cook us typical things, and well, our turn. We chose to do Christmas lunch.
They love our English Christmas lunch.
So I'm just going to use some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, which we tend to do most things in, just to slowly cook the onion. We'll come back to this in a few minutes when it's nicely caramelised, and then we can carry on to make the sausage meat stuffing. Time for a coffee.
Have a coffee in the meantime. Little coffee station here, ready to go.
While the onions are cooking away nicely, I'm just going to add some mixed herbs. Good sprinkling of those. So I think the onions are just nicely cooked there. Don't want them too brown. And they've got the herbs with them. I'm going to transfer them to a bowl just to cool down before I mix them with the sausage meat. So we'll leave them in the bowl just for a few moments while they cool down, and then we'll mix them with the sausage meat and the breadcrumbs, and then we can make them into bowls, and we'll put them into the oven. One of Anita's favourite parts of a Christmas lunch is the bread sauce, and we make that with an onion. We've got some cloves, some peppercorns. We normally have a bay leaf. We don't actually have a bay leaf anymore, so bay tree. So
my tree died.
Ah well, next time. And then milk and a little salt. So I've got the peppercorns. It suggests 8, so I've just got a few here, and I'll just put those in. And the cloves, well, what we do with those, we just stick them in the onion. And the recipe that Anita's using comes from Delia Smith, and it says you use as many or as few as you like. Some people love cloves, some people don't, so
it's a nice Christmassy taste, isn't it, cloves?
Yeah, and it certainly gives it a Christmassy smell as well. So I'll put plenty of cloves in there, and then this will go into the saucepan. Okay, so you can see I've got plenty of cloves on there.
Very decorative.
We just put that in. I didn't use them all, there's a few left over. You add a little salt, and then top it up with milk. And then this gets boiled up and then left just to infuse. Anita likes it, and we know Vicente likes it, so we're going to make quite a lot of bread sauce, so a little bit more than the recipe said. Not quite a litre of milk. Okay, so we just transfer that over to the heat, and we'll let it boil away, and then once it's boiling we'll turn the heat off and just let it infuse for an hour or two. Okay, so the onions now, they've cooled off, and I'm just going to add the sausage meat.
Quite difficult to get sausage meat here. This is actually from nice place.
Yeah, so it's an English type of sausage as well, so it's not quite the same as a Spanish sausage. I'm just going to break that up a bit and mix it with the onions and some breadcrumbs.
And some salt and pepper maybe, do you think?
Yeah. Little salt. And some pepper.
These are my nice salt and pepper shakers.
Right, so could have done this in your machine, couldn't we?
We could actually. Yeah.
Okay, so I've mixed it up, and I'm just going to take a little dessert spoonful and just make them into nice little balls, which we put on a tray here, which has got some baking paper on the bottom,
Stop them sticking.
so they don't stick. So we've done various ways of doing these stuffing balls and stuffing, and probably this is the first time we've done them like this, so
See what
I hope
they
it
like.
turns out alright.
Should be. They should actually not burn either. That's what I'm hoping.
So we've got enough there in the tray. So that's a
Delicious.
12. Yeah, just got a 12 there, dozen, and at the back there, I've just turned that off because it's now got to boiling point, and that just needs to sit so that it can infuse for a couple of hours. The turkey's been in for about an hour now, so we're just going to take it out and have a look to see how it's doing.
Can't really smell it yet.
No, I think we've still got a bit of a way to go. And that's all looking pretty good.
Smelling.
Yeah. I think I'm just going to put it back in like that,
Yeah.
and
Another hour.
for another hour, and then we'll come back and see how it goes on.
And in the meantime, I am going to do some starters. I'm going to do some smoked salmon and Philadelphia cheese rolled together. It's one of our starters.
The turkey's been in for nearly 2 hours now, so just have another look at it. It'll be hot.
It's hot, don't touch it.
It will be very hot.
It smells like Christmas now. It's beginning to smell a lot like Christmas.
Oh yes, that's looking good. And I've got a thermometer, so we can just stick it in.
You see it.
Anita said we want to get it to...
165, Alexa said.
Oh, that's Fahrenheit. I need that.
Doesn't look done yet.
Oh, it's still not cooked yet though. I'm looking at about 60.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to turn it over now anyway, so you can have a look. Let it cook on the other side. And as it's getting close to the end, I think I might just leave the
Put foil on.
foil off it now.
Save that.
I'll save that.
Do we need anything else in the oven yet?
Okay, so we'll leave that for another half hour or so. Right, we're at the next stage for the bread sauce, so I'm just going to take the onion out. We're going to save that though, because that goes back in. I'll just put that on a plate for later. Okay, so we're going to move the milk here, which is now infused, put it onto a low heat. So just turn that right down low. And then we're going to add some breadcrumbs. Now we usually make a mistake here and add too many breadcrumbs, and it becomes rather thick.
Stodgy.
So I have to not put too many in. So that it's more of a sauce rather than a
Yeah. Because it does
solid.
thicken up anyway.
Yeah.
You So stir for 15 minutes.
Okay, so we've got to stir this in now for quite a few minutes, so come back in a while and we'll see how it's getting on.
One of my jobs yesterday was to make these pigs in blankets. So, and with the sausage meat stuffing, they're going to go into the oven now.
Put those in the oven.
Good, have we got this nice big oven? Looking good in there. How long would you say for those?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll get them in about half an hour and see how they're doing. Right, we're getting there now, I think. So I'm just going to stick the prongs right in there, and the temperature's up to 64, 65. Still going up a little bit.
And what should it be?
We'll check that now. It's not quite ready, so I'm just going to put it back in. Not too thick. We think it may go a little bit thicker as it's left to stand. And we're just going to put the onion back in. And then I'll just leave that with the lid on. And I'll be ready for later. So I've put some potatoes in the air fryer. We're going to have some roast potatoes, and those I've just coated with olive oil, and I've put some garlic chips on them just to give them a little bit of added flavour. They'll take about 25 minutes, I think, so we'll just keep checking on those.
I think Steve is the air fryer expert.
Right, so we're just taking it out again, and the temperature is 75, 76, so that should be just right, I think. So we're now going to leave it now on a plate to rest and get on with the rest of the cooking. Okay, so the turkey, we're just going to cover that over now and let it rest. And I'm actually just going to put a tea towel over it. That'll just help to insulate it to keep it warm. The potatoes that I'd had in the air fryer, they're all nicely done, and I'm going to put those into the oven, and they've got a little bit of the juice from the turkey. And we're now going to have a look at the parsnips, which Anita peeled them yesterday. I'm just going to add a little bit of salt to those and some boiling water. I'm going to parboil them for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then they too are going to go in with the potatoes.
All action stations.
So just to cover them with some boiling water. And leave the lid on.
No, don't put the red sauce on.
Just boil them up. 5 minutes or so, should be fine.
Let's have a look at this bread sauce as well. So just have a little stir of that. See what it's like.
That's looking saucy.
It tastes really nice as well.
The parsnips have softened, hopefully not too much. I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil to them. And there was already some olive oil and a little bit of garlic in the bowl I've got here. Just give them a little bit of a stir up. I think they'll be alright. And then I'm going to add those to the potatoes in the tray. I think the potatoes are looking really good, so I'm just going to add the parsnips to the tray. Just keep them separate, so one end, the other.
Lots of parsnips because we like them.
Yeah, we may have overdone the parsnips, but we both like them, so we won't mind eating them tomorrow.
And the day after, and the day after. Well, we've decided, because the weather is a little bit iffy at the moment, that we're going to eat in the kitchen. There are 6 of us, so it might be a bit of a squash, but it'll be nice and comfy and homely. So the table is set ready. And we've decided that we're going to have starters in the living room. So there's the starters, we've got some dips and some crisps and things. So looking forward to our Christmas lunch. Right, so our guests have arrived and turkey carving time now. Everything's under control.
So now to carving. And I'm using an electric carving knife which must date from the 1970s.
Is it from Delsey's? No, the bag's from
No, the bag.
Delsey's.
This is ancient history.
My mum's, wasn't it?
No, we had one very early. So this is nearly 40 years old. People laugh at me when they say I've got an electric carving knife. They think they're a joke, but it's worked very well for us. We also add some of the water from the potatoes and from the carrots and from the parsnips. So we managed to steam the sprouts, which is what we usually do, but then we're going to put them with some almonds, which we're toasting in a frying pan. So it's a dry frying pan, no oil in there, just the almonds that we're toasting, and then we'll add the sprouts to that.
They're delicious.
They will be, I'm sure.
Sprouts on the table, bread sauce on the table, and food ready to go now.
And Anita's trying for dessert.
No lo puedes.
We're allowed to have a little bit.
Me manda un mensaje.